Have you ever realized how much people that were born anywhere between the 50s and the 90s, how much they talk about and fantasize about how life was for them back then, and you know how much shit they talk about our generation and how life is now? At least for me, whenever I have a conversation with someone like that and they're talking to me about the past, they always give me this same look in their eyes of this strong sense of wishing it could go back to the way it was. And if you pay attention, the one major factor, the one thing that they didn't have was a phone. They didn't have all these devices. They didn't have social media. They didn't have the system and society that we have now. It was a lot different back then. You know, they might have not noticed it, but people back then there was a lot more love and positivity in the air. People were more tuned in with themselves and closer to spirit. People had to interact with nature more. They had to interact with humans more. They had to physically go through experiences to learn something or do something or find something or see something new. And it's funny because we throw the saying, it really is that damn phone around. We throw that saying around so freely and just joke about it, not knowing that it actually has really deep meaning to it. There's this sort of mental slavery that's going on in today's society that 99% of us are so unaware of and comfortable with and accustomed to. You know, the doom scrolling, the trends, the memes, you know, following a certain narrative for social media and, you know, your friends and people around you, the wars, the shootings. It's even to the point where the food we're eating now is keeping us stuck. And all these negative and fearful things, all this propaganda is keeping us stagnant in a way. The point of human existence is evolution of your soul. Every day we're meant to evolve through the tests we're given. But this system is created to keep you from, you know, dwelling in the mind, being in tune with yourself and closer to spirit. It's created a loose sense of self and being able to be aware every day of the fact that your mind is capable of creating any type of reality you want for yourself. You know, and if you don't detach yourself from all these things we're being fed, then you will be stuck in the same thought process you had the day before, stuck in a loop, never obtaining a better version of you. And you will live your whole life like this until you die. You know, this is a physical reality, but everything starts in the mind. And if you can detach from these things, you can have clear thoughts, move through life with intention, constantly evolving into a better version of yourself. Study, learn, seek knowledge. Knowledge is a very powerful thing, as cliche as that sounds. Dwell in the mind, seek things that might bring you closer to yourself or closer to goals you might want to accomplish. Anything that could positively impact your life. You know, at the end of the day, it's not about who's the most disciplined. Like, don't follow all this mainstream self-improvement bullshit. Don't fucking mentally masturbate yourself with all that content that's out there. I read this quote and it said, when the water is boiling, you can't see yourself clearly, but when the water is still, you can finally see your reflection. And this has been stuck in my head for days because that's really what it's all about. It's about having a clear mind. It's about actually eliminating distractions and eliminating things that is begging for your attention so you can finally take control over your life. Stop being a fucking sheep and following society and getting distracted by any little thing that's keeping you stagnant. You gotta be in control of your own fucking reality. This is your reality. You write your fucking story. if you don't detach from this shit, if you don't wake the fuck up to what's going on around you, your life will be driven by all this shit, all this external shit. Your life will be driven by all of this. You have to be an author of your fucking story. Otherwise, you will be on your fucking deathbed thinking, what the fuck did I do all this time? I was a fucking zombie. I was asleep, unaware, distracted. So lock the fuck in, or else somebody else is gonna write your fucking story.